And Yahoo was like the business, the search engine before Google. So they were legit. If we look at Apple, wait, we go over here. I'm sorry. I don't need to be. This is the market cap section. So all in 96, if we look at December of 96, so every time, so there's growth in the market, or there's movement in the market cap. I'll say that there's movement in the market cap, 2.6, 2.5, and there's a declining of it down to 2.1, right? So John Ramsey and Access Graphics at the time were 2 point, I should probably make this bigger, so we can see. So anyways, John Ramsey at the time, you can see the market cap, 2.1 billion. For Apple, 95 and 96, well, really 96, 2.1 billion market cap. Nvidia, in 99 or in 2000, 2.2 billion market cap. And then lastly, Adobe, 96, 97, 98, we see growth in their market cap, but 2.6 billion. 2.83, 2.86, right? So these are the companies that John Ramsey, I say this to make a point that John Ramsey was on his way. Like John Ramsey was going big. John Ramsey was pushing to be one of the biggest, right? So when I say I sold $1 billion, right? I'm on my way, because now it'd be 2 billion. Well, should have been 2 billion. But at the time, those guys had a market cap of 2 billion at that time. So John is trying to get there, but what he's saying was hopefully in the next decade will be 2 billion. And essentially we're trying to ramp up. All he's going to do is, where is that? Anyways, we'll kind of touch on that later, but I think they called him like a channel integrator. And what that means is that essentially John was acting as the middleman. He was acting as the middleman. His company was a middleman to sort of say, this is the company that makes the computer or the software or the hardware. We can go B2B, and then we can also act as B2C. So I'm going business to business with, well, I think it might be I think it still might be B2B on the other end too, because I'm going B2B with Sun, going business to business with Sun. And I want to say business to consumer, but if you can consider some of the people, I was looking up some of the filing information for Access Graphics, and they don't have any financial data. They have some associated information. They have some lawsuits. I think I saw some lawsuits that Access Graphics was involved in 96, 97, 95, 93, 92, all in that area into the 2000s. They had some lawsuits against some people who they were, I guess they had some payable outstanding, some accounts payable outstanding with some people, or receivable, would have been receivable. They had some receivables that were outstanding. And so they took people to court is essentially what they did. And they got a judgment they got some judgments for the people to pay them. So essentially, hey, we gave you this, these services you owe us. And so that would be accounts receivable that, they weren't getting. And they didn't want to write it off. And so I guess apparently they felt like the people could pay it. But anyways, John at this time is $1 billion company, and in these terms, it's going to be 2 billion. Even if you consider the $2 billion companies of 95, 96, what John was trying to do was he was trying to get there. So they're on their way. But to put it in context, to get back to the main point, Lockheed is saying that company, that $1 billion company that is on its way to being one of the top computer distributors in the nation, if not the world, we want to get rid of it. And that means that something was going on that they did not like. And not only that, they sent John on leave and said, we don't care what happens to Access Graphics after this. Let somebody else run the company for now. John, you get out the way. Go handle your business with your family. nah, John, get out the way. We don't trust you. And so the point in mentioning all that is that we're talking about a gentleman, a guy in John Ramsey, who is extremely stressed about what I don't know the state of my position. And I am on leave 4 months in to the new year. And so, of course, Jeff Merrick might have legitimacy to what he's saying, or there might be some legitimacy to, oh, there's a falsification of sales reporting or what have you. But John is out of the office. And so John is like, well, dang, you know what I mean? When I leave, y'all start talking crazy about me. And y'all doing all this and that and trying to report that there's sale. And because when I leave, there's all kinds of, because probably M&A is there, right? You probably got auditors there that are looking through the information and John is not there. But John feels like he can trust people in the office to do what he's supposed to do. But when the auditors get to looking and they find stuff, you know, somebody's got to come clean and say, yo, we may be flubbing some stuff. We might be writing some stuff off. We might be expensing some things, right? We might be hiding some things in other accounts, you know, that don't need to be there. So at this point, we can't protect John. And John is like, yo, I'm trying to quell this whole situation with my daughter. And y'all are causing trouble at the office, because I can imagine that it's a jungle at the office, because they're like, well, we got this new CEO here who's interim and is acting as CEO, and we really don't know what to think of him. And so we might be able to get away from some things, and you know, the company is not running as smoothly as it should. And so things are just kind of, it's a tough position to be in if you're Lockheed Martin, because it's like, man, this guy has been at the helm. He knows what he's doing, but we got to take him out of the way because this is looking bad. We're trying to get rid of this company. We're already trying to sell this company, but we might lose more money than we expected on this deal. At first, we were in a good position. We weren't going to lose money on this deal. We were getting ready to buy and sell and acquire and get it out of here. But now it looks like we might lose a significant amount of money on this deal, and we have to limit the possibility of anything else negatively impacting our bottom line, is the point that I'm trying to make. I'm going to end it right there, but I want to dive more into John and look more at sort of like this media cover-up that's going on, and define it a little bit more so we can get a better context of who John is and what John is doing. So until next video, take it easy.